And it's just a great opportunity for me to come here and to share with you, not only and spend a few minutes about the EOP program, but to share just what a legacy that Dr. White has left all of us here in the academic community. We moved away from a single standard, what was right and wrong, and we began to experience what were people's strengths and what other kinds of standards and values were we going to be promoting as psychologists. And so I am totally indebted to it. But as I say, as I came, time of great change, great uprising. It was also a time in the 1960s with declining enrollments of African American students. So here we are, changes are occurring, and what was going to happen. As we all know, that Dr. White and other academicians and civil rights activists and community activists at the time understood that equal access, and the word is access, equal access, and the support systems that people needed to succeed, to build upon their strengths. It wasn't just, as was pointed out, access, but it was making sure that those that had the potential were going to be successful, and the function was on being successful. And that was just as key as the dream of full civil rights as equality at the ballot box. And I'm going to mention a little bit at the end about equality at the ballot box, too, in the role of Joe White. So Dr. White and his colleagues, as we all know, and that's why we're here to, and it's important to say it over again, to really understand that with their blend of scholarship, social activism, mentoring, influenced the enrollment, and that's what it did. It began to influence the enrollment of not only African American students, but all students of color, all those that had potential, that really weren't being supported and enhanced and reached out to the community, and we were not providing the support systems that really provide people with the opportunities for success, and that's what EOP did. So I'd like to just honor some of those pioneers that we've already heard today, Dr. White, Assemblyman and Speaker Willie Brown, Dr. Clyde Taylor, Mr. Ernie Clark, all those that were on here, that were here, that I worked with for so many years, people like Evelyn Knight and others that were here. You're just such an honor to be here to share it with. And as I pointed out, while the original goal was to increase access, but also to provide those kinds of support, and it's an ongoing journey, it's also, that journey has been, because of these champions and these pioneers led by Dr. White, it's made that journey a little bit shorter and a little bit more direct. So here, today we're here to celebrate his legacy, the legacy of EOP, how it has changed innumerable lives by creating opportunity where none existed before. And so I'm going to present to him, but I'm going to make one last thing, what the history of the United States and the United States Congress is done in our record. Our history is in the congressional record, which dates back to the beginning of the institution, in which we document what we as members of Congress really want to put into the record. And so we have entered into the House of Representatives the 50th anniversary celebration of California State University's Educational Opportunities Program, but it's really honoring the legacy, and I'm not going to read it, of Dr. White. That's really what we put in, and I'm so honored to do it. And I'll kind of close with a very interesting point. In 2012, when I first ran for Congress, which was a great honor to represent you in Congress, and it was a competitive district created by the Independent Redistricting Commission, and people were, like we're seeing like today, it was just, we got to get people out to vote. But when we were doing that, we had Congressman Jim Clyburn. I don't know if you know who Jim Clyburn was. Jim Clyburn is from South Carolina. Jim Clyburn, Congressman Clyburn, and now also Congressman John Lewis were really partners, as we all know, with Martin Luther King, and really were part of that movement in the 1960s. And so Jim Clyburn came out to do an event for me here in Long Beach. And Joe White was at the event, and you should have seen that when Joe White and Jim Clyburn saw each other and reminisced about how they worked together in the 1960s and marched together. And I don't think we honor, you know, Joe White did as much for, not only for the development of the EOP, not only for reaching out to the community, but for being one of those civil rights heroes who really was there and walked the walk and talked the talk in the 1960s. As we've seen also the legacy of what he's left here on this campus. And so it is just a great honor for me to present to Joe the congressional record, which is really honors him. The event will celebrate the legacy of Dr. White, and we really go through what we've done. A great psychologist, a great person, civil libertarian. And so,